Well, hi everyone, and welcome to episode 26 of That Fallout Show. I am Rick McVick, and with us tonight, as always, is the lovely Micheline.
Hello, hello. How are you guys?
Every time Rick says lovely or beautiful, I know that he's going to introduce Shalene first.
I really thought about doing you
I
first.
actually thought he was going that way as well. I actually thought that's where he was going with it.
One of these days. One of these days. But covering for all our ones and zeros, our master of disaster, our seller of wares and fine trinkets and goodies is our robot, Vendertron.
Welcome, sir or madam.
How you doing, bud?
That's a
doing
way
all right.
better introduction than lovely. That was a lot more fanfare.
Well, I felt like I owed him now.
I mean, Shalene, you're so lovely you don't need an introduction. People just
Aw,
know.
shucks.
People just know. They know.
Oh man, it's so good to be here this Friday night. I did miss you two this week. I really did. So I'm happy that we're here.
I missed you too.
And it was just, people don't realize some of the things that go on behind the scenes
Or maybe they do.
and frustrations and things like that. But it's so good to just like do this with you two every Friday. But yeah. Oh, right, yeah. So yeah. And of course,
As I'm
she's the
choking.
themed one.
Choking on my beer. I'm okay. I'm okay.
The ginger in the beer is clashing with the ginger.
It's a
in
little
the...
too bubbly for my gyros.
So, welcome everyone on our lovely chat, listening here on Twitch, and also checking us out on oral podcast stations all around the globe, such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify and things like that. And you guys at home can help us so much by sharing us on your social media, sending us emails like the one we're going to read tonight. You can like, subscribe, and retweet to our social media thingies whenever we do it, and tell your friends about us mostly. I know that there was someone, I forget who they are, but you know who you are in spirit. They were in our Discord, and they were telling, it was Chicky Cosplay on Twitter. She was saying that she was handing out all these stickers to people at the con she was at. So, do
She
things
is
like
Her
that.
a big
She
pack of
is-
stickers to hand
Yeah.
out.
She's as lovely as she is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
We just love her. Yeah.
So thank you so much for all that you guys do out there in the biospheres of helping promote the show. Tonight, you can expect high quality, top content like news, gameplay, recap of the last challenge and a new one. We're not laughing because I'm being sarcastic at all. Some lore and the weapon of the week. I hate that. We got to change that.
Weapon of the week.
Why?
Let's make a note because it's not of the week. It's like weapon of the show.
Okay, taking suggestions in chat starting now.
And
Well,
then we,
I don't see a problem with it.
because it's not of the week, it's a bi-weekly show.
Yeah, it's bi-monthly technically. If you want to go down that road.
The weapon of the week doesn't work.
Weapon of the bye week.
It's that Fallout show week.
That's true.
So
Of the week of the Fallout show, this is the weapon of the week. So
I guess we could just change it to weapon of the week, like WEAK.
that's true. Well, never mind. I didn't promise you guys orally, but I promised you mentally that I wasn't going to do any sort of like nasty meat puns.
Oh.
Both of you.
I was like, where is he going with this orally and the thing?
I wasn't gonna.
yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. So anyway,
You're bad. Dirt.
After that,
Just imagine your own meat puns, okay? Just set yourself at home.
Well, I'll tell you
imagine
something
my own
else.
meat, she says.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just leave it at that.
We have emails after that, but anyway, before we get into this wildly quasi erotic show. No, that's not the right thing I wanted to say. What was I trying to say?
Smoked. We're up in smoke.
We're up in
It's smoked.
That was a good show title too. Up in smoke. Anyway, Vendor, 5-star review shoutouts. Take it away. Take the focus off me. Go.
Of course, coming from the USA, and I'm gonna try and say this with a straight face, you guys. We have a 5-star review shout out from from Big Nilla.
Enunciate.
Big Nilla. So thank you for the 5-star review shout out, Big Nilla. Also the Metal Yeared 5-star reviewed out shout out from them as well. Those are the two people we got for this fortnight. If you would like to leave us a 5-star review shout out, all you got to do is find our podcast on Apple Podcasts, I believe now, no longer iTunes.
I should probably make sure that the aggregating part of the thing is good.
Sure,
I
yes.
have an iPhone. It's still working fine.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, you can still
technically,
access.
it's still iTunes. iTunes is still a thing. They haven't actually deleted it.
But
Oh.
hey, here's the thing. I should probably record my audio, so we'll do that. Spotify, you could also leave us reviews on Spotify if you'd like. So that's an opportunity there if the 5-star review shoutouts on Apple, iTunes, podcasts, whatever it is now, goes in the pooper. We also have some new people on the Discord, guys. We have to send a great big fanfare welcome to Frandroid. She's on the Discord. Isn't that great?
Nice.
Yeah.
She was on the Discord this week and sending me all kinds of game codes and stuff. I just
What?
love her. Yeah, she saw that I was streaming Farm Sim,
You get
and she's
game
like,
codes?
"Oh, I've got a game code for this sim game that I think that you'll like. You should try it out." So she's adorable. She also sent me a lovely picture of the Broad Street Pump, which I wasn't able to see when I was in London because it was under construction. So she stopped by on her jaunt to work this morning and snapped a shot of it. So thank you, Fran. Welcome to the Discord. We also have Northern Lime and Dr. Mulder. Do, 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 do.
I want to believe.
Pixels as well. Pixel, welcome to the Discord. And last but certainly not least, and getting involved in some lengthy and very interesting chat with us this week, Fire and Gasoline. Welcome to the Discord, guys.
Yeah, I never expected to tell the story about the time I ate bugs in college.
You
On the
never
so.
yes, you never know what you're going to expect in the Discord. Anything is possible. It is our chat after dark, and if you want to review and read up on how Shalene ate bugs in high school, all you got to do is scroll down right below Rick there on the left side of the Twitch page and click the Discord link. If you're listening to this post live, you can also find our Discord link on our social media as well, or just send us a personal message and we'll make sure that you get access to that. But yeah, the Discord blew up this week. We added 2 new channels, Healthy Gamers as well as Bookstack. 2 very awesome and interesting and very lively channels. So if you want to see what's going on in those, we recommend that you check them out. Bookstack.
Nice.
Yep.
Stacks of books.
Stacks of
Just
books.
stacks everywhere.
Stacks.
That's all I got, Rick.
Okay, great. Where did we post those stats of the Discord? Was that in our private chat? Because it's been crazy.
Yeah, it's going up. It's going up and up and up. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything new to report.
No, that's just
Discord
really
stat.
good. Our little community that is.
Yeah.
That does. So
The Discord is the WJLG Discord. I have to say is one of the first things I check in the morning. Yeah, I get up, I have my coffee, I check the Discord.
It's one of the biggest surprises for me. I didn't think it was going to get as much traction as it did.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, before we go any further, we have to stop and do that wonderful Nuclear News Network segment with our reporter from the wasteland, Shalene.
If you like news, you're gonna love our next segment.
What happened in the world of Fallout?
Well, as I'm sure most of our listeners have predicted, meat happened or is going to happen. So we're going to talk about Meat Week.
I
Hey.
can't do this.
You guys are such children.
I can't.
Ah.
You can do it, Rick. I believe in you.
Fallout 76's next upcoming timed event is Meat Week. And I'm reading a Polygon article by Cass Marshall here. This is a summertime event. It's about collecting meat for Graham, who is basically the only non-robot NPC in the game, and help him grill it up. And you get to hang out with Graham and Shelly the Moo and find and cook up this meat. I'm very excited about it. You can get some cookout themed cosmetic items as well. But that begins on the 30th. I'm very, very excited to check this event out. I hope it brings the community together in the same way that Foshnosh did.
Foshnoshed?
Foshnosh.
Wow.
Yeah, I really do. What do you guys think? Before we get into your thoughts, though.
Wow.
Great.
Meat Week will be made up of 2 events. Primal Cuts is the first step, and that introduces prime beasts, which can be hunted down, and they will provide prime meat, which is better, of course, than ordinary meat. And Primal Cuts will have 3 locations on the map where you can start this, and they will range in level and difficulty. So there will be some for newer, lower level players, and also some that will be challenging for high level players as well. You'll get experience, caps, and the meat. And the second event is called Meat Cook. This will begin hourly, and you can go to Graham and cook up that prime meat. This includes some non-combat activities, which I love. I love that there are some non-combat. You can feed Graham's cow, Charlie the Moo, his Brahmin, and put out fires, and you can get some barbecue-themed loot to go with that. So I'm very excited. In the photo here, it shows a person wearing a black chef's hat and an apron, and I'm very excited. So
Yeah, it looks really cool.
okay, now thoughts on Meat Week, gentlemen.
Well, you can't. Nope. Vendor, go.
I like meat. It tastes good.
In my mouth.
It's you bake it, you cook it, you fry it.
I think this is actually pretty cool because, especially with the non-combat events, that's one of the things that I find that offers a nice break from, the rigors of the wasteland. The Foshnot was close to that. I mean, it was combat-based, but it was still kind of whimsical and silly. So I like that they're doing a non-combat event as well. I think that's fun.
You bring up a good point because I really like, I like how things have kind of evolved in that a lot of these things are more community-based and just about living in the wasteland. They had the spring event or the summer event where you could build a greenhouse and just grow some plants, like that's awesome. That's the kind of Fallout that I like personally.
Yeah.
So.
And events are a lot of fun. That was, one of my greatest memories of an MMO type of, game was Guild Wars with the Halloween events, and there was, you did the labyrinth and you killed things to collect candy, and then there was other things to do that weren't necessarily combat oriented, but it was just like a nice little, I don't know, it's almost breaking the fourth wall. Like, yes, we acknowledge this is a game and we're just going to have kind of whimsical fun in it. But then again, Fallout's always kind of done that. But I'm really happy about this. I'm actually going to I'm going to try this out. I've I'll talk a little bit more about it in the gameplay, but I haven't really been driven to play Fallout lately. So
yeah. How about you, Shalene? What do you think?
I'm really looking forward to it. I loved Foshnosh, and I think Meat Week sounds kind of fun. Graham and Chally are one of my favorite things in Fallout 76. So I'm very much looking forward to them having a role in this. I hope we get to pet Chally the Moo. Very excited. So I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And you guys, I just want to say I love you guys, but I also hate you.
Why?
Turning everything into a thing.
No, we've been avoiding it.
What are you talking about?
I haven't made one innuendo at all, and it hurts.
Right.
I mean, it's gonna happen. So
You guys are ridiculous. So let's move
come
on.
on, Shalene, you got to get your head in the game.
You got to meet us halfway.
Okay, let's get cooking here.
Yeah, let's link this up. Let's link this up.
now the people are seeing how the sausage is made. Is what's happening now. So Fallout 76 had a patch. It was patch number 11, and it was a bit of a disaster. We're looking at a Polygon article by Patricia Hernandez, and yeah, this update did not roll out as smoothly as some of the few that have recently.
Pray tell.
It borked a few things.
It did, yeah. Legendary enemies stopped dropping legendary gear.
Oh no.
You had one job, dead super mutant.
Yeah, it was a problem, and there were reports that there was an area in the White Springs that would automatically kill you.
Like if you just like walked there?
Yeah, you would just die.
Finally, Chernobyl has come to Fallout 76.
Check out the thing.
If you click the link there, the people at home can't do that, but the rest of you can. If you click the link there, you can see a little video of the person walking through the parking lot and just dropping dead. Yeah, it's
okay.
amazing.
That's good.
It's amazing.
Beautiful.
Gosh, I lost my spot. I'm sorry, guys. And there is also a bug that decapitates your character when you leave core armor.
Oh, that's
There were
great.
a bunch of people walking around with no heads at all.
Now that's the kind of bugs that I like to see.
The old
That I
Fallout
love.
we've been wanting is here now.
I love it. And there were some problems with power armor, including game freezes, players getting stuck inside power armor, and gear that is just perpetually unequipped. You remember these kind of things happening in the very beginning of the game, when it was very messy.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very negative, and I feel like the fans got really upset about this one. There were people calling for a test server, which is not necessarily a bad idea in my opinion, but that's something a lot of online games do. But I really feel like we had started to take for granted how smoothly things were going until this was a mess. And I played some Fallout 76. We'll talk about this in my gameplay, and I had some crazy bugs as well. So yeah, this patch maybe needed a bit more time in the oven. So
A bit more time on the grill, you mean?
yes, a little bit more time on the grill.
Needed to marinate a little.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I've got nothing. I was trying to play off of that, but I got nothing. So you know who else loves meat? Super mutants. Super mutants love meat, as evidenced by all the meat bags at super mutant locations. Yeah.
Jeez.
Meat bags.
Gosh. Yeah. I'm bad at this. So the point of the worst segue in that Fallout show history is that there is a mod in Fallout 3 that will let you play as a super mutant. Obsidian CEO Fergus Urquhart stated that they had a plan for the player to be allowed to play as a super mutant in Fallout New Vegas, but that was not something that came to fruition. I wish it had. I've always wanted to play as different races in Fallout.
Yeah.
I would love to play as a super mutant or a ghoul, and for it to be something that gives benefits as well as consequences. Like, for example, if you're a super mutant, you have enhanced strength, but your charisma is a lot lower.
Like 0.
Yes. But this Fallout 3 mod called Metamorphosis will let you be a super mutant in Fallout 3, which I find hilarious because the whole Fallout 3 storyline is very, human-centric.
I love it.
The modder who created this mod is called Genin32, Genin32, and it is a lore-friendly quest. Your lone wanderer goes to Vault 87, which of course is the place where Fallout 3's super mutants are created using the forced evolutionary virus. So you can go in there and you can become a super mutant. Instead of freeing Fox, you can become a super mutant yourself. You do have to leave Fox behind if you do this, but the mod adds a super mutant companion named Gunnorn, Gunhorn.
Gunhorn?
Gunhorn.
Gunhorn?
It's a very Viking-ish sounding name. And you can pick up that companion at Germantown Police HQ. So the perks of this will be that you are immune to radiation, and you get some perks called Steady Arm, Psychotic, Centaur Affinity, and Juggernaut. And you'll also find that super mutants are no longer hostile to you, but the humans are. So yeah, that's a pretty significant change to the game. I'm kind of tempted to try this. I feel like that would be a really interesting spin on this game that's so familiar to us.
Yeah, I mean, I've got no beef with that. I'm sorry.
You turkey.
You guys are such hams, I swear.
Why you gotta be so moody?
So
I think it would be great to traverse around the wasteland as a super mutant. Can you imagine like doing like stealth mode?
oh man, that's so great.
You know, like, or perhaps a stakeout.
Oh, jeez.
Gosh, that's a good one, buddy.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So, speaking of protein sources, eggs are another delicious way to get your daily protein, and Easter eggs are something that are no Fallout fans are no stranger to Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is it's a doozy. Joel Burgess is currently employed at Ubisoft. He worked on Fallout 4. He worked at Bethesda for quite a while. And he shared a very elaborate Easter egg that is based on Gone Home, Steve Gaynor, the creator of Gone Home.
Okay.
Shock, and also Hideo Kojima's Snatcher.
Huh.
So Joel was playing Fallout 4. He says in his Twitter thread that he stumbled across an old Easter egg he put in Fallout 4. Actually, it's kind of an Easter egg within an Easter egg within an Easter egg. I wonder how many people got how many parts of this.
Huh.
And the image shown is a sort of a flayed, bloody skeleton with a skull between its feet next to a pistol and next to a chest as well.
Mm-hmm.
He says, so part one is the most obvious. I set up a simple door puzzle and scripted a little 4-digit input toy. The code is hidden in the room nearby, but immersive sim fans won't need it. 0451 is a nod to System Shock that also appears in Thief, Deus Ex, Dishonored. That's also in Prey. That's in a ton of games.
Huh.
Okay.
Part two is a quiet high five to a developer friend. Fulbright, aka Steve Gaynor, has often proclaimed his love for a nasty video game magnum, so I hit a custom one here. Steve's a bit too well known to just drop his name directly, so I called the gun the Gaynor.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Nice.
That's where that came from. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Part 3 is
Excited.
one that I don't think many people got. The body staging here is a reference to the classic Hideo Kojima game Snatcher. I put a similar reference in Fallout 3 with a few extra clues which made it more obvious.
Sheesh.
So, that's really, really cool. Yeah.
Nice. Deep cuts.
Yeah, it's the Fallout 3 version is at the Gibson House and the Benson House in
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So
What's that place called? Minefield?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where I built my house and then I realized it was in a minefield.
With that sniper.
Man, I would hate to make an elaborate Easter egg like this. So complicated, so like in depth, and then nobody figures it out.
I would do that kind of thing just for myself, really. I wouldn't care if anybody figured it out.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that terminal still is out there.
I think it's not. I think somebody's found it by now.
It's in Area 51.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
gosh, I'm so bad at segues this week, guys. I'm sorry.
An utter failure.
Speaking of the Prime cuts are a thing that Meat Week will bring us, and Twitch Prime via Amazon Prime
Oh.
is giving us a Prime cut on the price of Fallout 76.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting. So they are offering you, if you are a Prime member, a $15 gift card with the purchase of a $15 game. The choices are Fallout 76, The Last of Us Remastered, and The Sims 4. So you purchase the game for $15, and then they send you a gift card for $15. So you're basically getting a free game. Just like this one here in my hand, this PlayStation 4 copy of Fallout 76. So I now have a copy for each platform. So I'm not going to turn down a free copy of Fallout 76.
I think Fallout 3 was also on that list. Or Fallout 4, sorry, was also on that
list. Was it really?
I think so, yes. Well, it is in Canada anyway, if you go to Amazon.ca.
Interesting. It was not on the list in America.
Yeah, it's oh no, I'm mistaken. It's Fallout 76 for Xbox and PS4. Yeah. My mistake.
Yeah, so definitely check that out. You have a few days left to take advantage of this deal.
Yeah, and like, I mean, you pay $15 for the game, you get a $15 credit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you're basically just paying tax to get a copy of the game.
I feel like Amazon's trying to do something. They're trying to, like, I don't know, build money in their system while getting rid of old stock that they need to get rid of.
Well, one thing that's pretty common is that gift cards tend to not be redeemed. So,
and also, if you get an Amazon credit, you have to spend it on Amazon.
Yes.
So either way, they're clearing out their warehouses and they're also making money at the same time.
True.
That is so clever. We
is.
figured you out. We figured you out, Amazon.
They're like, yeah, see, you've got us.
Try and stop us.
They're just wiping their tears away with $100 bills right now.
Like Dumb and Dumber.
They gotta make all their room in their warehouse for Delphine's bathwater.
Really?
Oh dear.
We're back here again?
No. Well, it's Meat Week. I mean,
why do you put me in these positions?
Inside the Vault was
no.
the most recent Inside the Vault. And they mentioned a hot fix. Of course, Inside the Vault, if anybody's new here, is the weekly newsletter that Bethesda releases, giving us the latest info on Fallout 76 and the world of Fallout. They have released a hot fix to address some of the problems that Patch 11 caused for Fallout 76 players. And they've also made a few adjustments to survival mode. So map highlights are no longer shown for the players in the top 3, and they also reduced lethality during PvP combat. So that should make combat last a little bit longer in survival mode. I think removing the map markers for the top 3 players is a bit of a bummer, in my opinion, because that's part of the fun, part of the draw of survival mode is hunting down those top 3 players. But
I know, but it should be that. See, I never liked the fact that anyone could see where you are. I think that's ridiculous.
I think that the whole map period in Fallout 76 is garbage.
What?
The map is garbage. It's
by
garbage.
which he means the map itself.
The map, not like the game.
Oh yeah.
The map with the markers
yeah.
is garbage.
I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
So they have confirmed that legendary items are dropping at a lower than intended rate, even after the initial hotfix that they released to deal with that problem. So they're working towards an additional fix to hopefully get this working correctly. And 11.5 has the Meat Week seasonal event that is going to be delayed. Oh, I didn't see this before the podcast, so I lied about the date of Meat Week. Meat Week is going to start on Thursday instead of on Tuesday. So
well, I don't eat meat on Tuesdays, so.
Well, yeah, join us on Thursday then for Meat Week. They also talked a bit about QuakeCon. QuakeCon is happening in Dallas and in London. They're having a European QuakeCon. They're going to do some Fallout 76 panels, a nuclear winter tournament, and They're doing a fundraising event teamed up with One Up on Cancer to raise funds for people who are undergoing cancer treatment. So that's a very good thing. I love that they do these charity
I agree. Yep.
collaborations. I
Very
feel like
good.
that's a really good thing that they do. And they're also doing a bring your own computer nuclear winter event, which I think sounds pretty fun. So they will be streaming some of the panels and things from QuakeCon. It's probably already too late. No, tomorrow. There's some of these tomorrow that will be streamed. So if you're listening live, you can check those out. And if you're listening later, sorry, you missed it. Catch on. What's on sale, Bender? Tell us about the ballistic bargain.
Well, patch 11 items and sales as of July 23rd have come down from Bethesda, and they are adding a ton of new items to the Atomic Shop that you can unlock with the items that you've purchased or earned in completing some of the in-game challenges. The latest free item that you can get, and I recommend that you get this, is a sign for your camp that says "Do not enter." Free states, do not enter. So you can get that in the Atomic Shop up until July 30th. There are some limited time offers as well. As part of signing on with the free states, there are 3 separate free state bundles that you can have access to: the Survivalist and Revolutionary bundles, which contain a variety of cosmetic items.
Ooh.
Including power armor paint, a jetpack skin, and weapon skins, and more.
Well, when you say cosmetic items, I was hoping for eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Lipstick. I'm so disappointed.
If you would prefer, you can also pick up the Trailblazer bundle, which contains all of the items in the Survivalist and Revolutionary bundles, as well as a gold standing flag that is an exclusive bonus to that bundle. These bundles are available until August 20th, and I'm just gonna run through the list here. So some of the limited time items, actually I'll do the bundles first and then I'll do the limited items. So the Free State Survivalist bundle contains Survivalist Power Armor Paint, Free State Survivalist Jetpack, Free State's 10mm submachine gun paint, Survivalist Outfit hat and bandana, Pip-Boy Paint, Survivalist Player Icon, Survivalist white and black flags, green Free States backpack, tan Free States backpack, and a Free States keep out sign. The Revolutionary bundle contains a power armor paint, Revolutionary power armor paint, jetpack paint, a Revolutionary jetpack, combat shotgun paint, Revolutionary outfit and helmet, Pip-Boy paint, player icon, blue and black flags, a vending machine paint, salute emote, and a truck bed trailer set, which looks pretty cool. The Trailblazer bundle contains the Free States gold flag, and then everything in the Survivalist bundle and the Revolutionary bundle. So some of the limited time items available until July 30th would be the Camouflage Hunting Rifle paint for 500 atoms. You can also get the Liberty Prime Power Armor skin set and the Free States Trailblazer bundle available until August 6th. Available until August 20th, the Free States Survivalist bundle and the Free States Revolutionary bundle. Those are available till August 20th. There are some items that are on sale. We love sales. The Vault-Tec Armor Workbench is on sale until yesterday, so you can't get that anymore. Sorry about that, guys. Available till today for 560 atoms is the Vault-Tec Weapon Workbench. Available till July 26th. The Tough Girl Photo Mode Pose, It's Friday Photo Mode Frame, available till July 27th. Manta Man Costume, July 28th. Wood Grain Camera Paint, July 29th. And the Doughboy Pip-Boy Paint, which is available till July 30th. Now what you've all been waiting for, the new items. We have some good new items, you guys. We've got a cement tire wall set, which you can get for 500 atoms set up at your base. Free States generator skin set and a cement-filled tire set. Those don't seem that exciting, but wait, there's more. You can get, Shalene, a rhododendron pantsuit.
Ooh. Rhododendron, you say.
Yeah. And also, Deathclaw Topiary. with
Yay.
picket fences. You can also get a fence set. There's also a flora photo mode frame set, a large potted succulent set, tulips and daffodil planters.
Did you say daffodils? I love daffodils.
Daffodils,
Oh my
Shalene.
gosh, we're going for the daffodils. End the show. I've got to go get these daffodils.
Well, while you're searching for daffodils, you can also pick up a carnivorous plant and potted cactus set and a tiered succulent set.
Will the carnivorous
Ooh.
plant attack my guests?
I hope so.
Me too.
It's like the Mario when it barks at you.
Because if it doesn't, Bethesda, you have not done your job. Yeah. I would hope that the carnivorous plant kind of acts like a turret, you know? You
Yeah.
can just like put it on your porch, and if anything goes up there, it just like eats them. But anyways, that's all the Atomic Shop items.
There
Yeah.
was a bit of controversy regarding the Atomic Shop in our Discord that was being discussed.
Oh yeah.
So there is a jetpack in one of those packs, a power
Right.
armor jetpack. So,
That's right.
That is not just a skin for the jetpack; it's the jetpack itself. So
Correct.
Oh,
yeah, that's not a cosmetic item.
Daddy no
Yeah.
likey.
Yeah.
That is in the Free States Revolutionary Bundle.
And also, the most of the items in these bundles cannot be purchased individually. So that was something that the listeners did not like. Something that I also do not like. I would prefer to be able to purchase a la carte.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily want to make a $30 investment into Fallout cosmetics.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to just be able to afford to buy anything in the Atomic Shop, so I guess I'll go for some cement-filled tires. You know, for like 150. Wait. 300.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
expensive.
dear.
Like, see what I mean? It's stupid.
It is.
Anyways.
They are expensive.
Yeah.
But all right. So if you folks at home and those watching us now can't wait till August 1st to play with your meat, well, let us regale you with stories from the wasteland with our gameplay. And that was mine, Vendor.
Every time.
I did want to point out. I forgot that I'm pulling a Shillian where I'm like, go ahead, but wait. I just haven't been really enthusiastic to play Fallout since the last couple updates, and it wasn't that the updates were bad or whatever. I'm kind of glad that I missed the bugginess of it.
Yeah.
But I think I've discussed before when a game gets to a point where they want you to play something a lot. Like they want you to like play the game a lot to get the things, and then there's just like you have nothing else to look forward to except for just kind of doing the same thing with the things you just got. I kind of lose momentum there playing it. You know, I I said before the lore and the story is great in Fallout 76, and it is. But there's just something about it that hasn't kept me playing. I think I know it's because there's no more quests available, or at least not very many like meaty quests with that aren't just dailies or repeatables and things like that. And I realized how important that stuff is. And I think that the NPCs coming to Appalachia couldn't come soon enough to pull people back into it. I think it's going to be a big exhale. We've been inhaling and like holding our breath for something to happen. And the events have been fun and the updates have been fun and stuff, but there are those of us who play Fallout not to do things over and over and over and over again, so I'm excited for when that comes out. But that's really why I've lost interest recently. It's not the game's fault. It's just the style of the game is not so much up my alley, but the environment is. But anyway, I wanted to say that. So,
Okay.
Mr. Vinder.
Well, I haven't played anything Fallout related these past 2 weeks, but I have done all of the other Fallout things that you could possibly do, including cooking from the cookbook and ordering Fallout things online.
Ooh.
Yay.
So, cue the photos, Rick. Cue the photos. So, I made the Radgull curry udon that's in the Fallout cookbook. That was my challenge from the last 2 weeks. And Guys, it's delicious. I went to like 3 different Asian supermarkets to try and get duck. Um, because the recipe calls for duck, not gulls. And they didn't have duck breasts. That's what it calls for. So I ended up actually buying an entire duck and roasting it in the oven.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, yeah. And it was a challenge. It was a challenge to make this. It was a 6.5 hour endeavor. I thought, I'm gonna get the roux started and get the broth going because that's gonna take some time to simmer. Actually, that was the easiest part. It was roasting the damn duck, and the duck was frozen when I bought it, so it had to sit in cold water for like 4.5 hours before I put it in the oven. So, anyways, if you go to the next one, it shows you the what is it? The soup.
Getting there.
So there's the soup. It's very curry-y. You got to use shiitake mushrooms and throw in some carrots, and I don't remember what else it calls for. It calls for a ton of different spices, and I'm not a curry person, so I don't know if I would ever have this again. I mean, it was good, but
Curry is delicious.
there's something about curry that just I don't like. I don't like the taste of it.
Well,
but
a lot of
Curry.
curries tend to have like spices that the Western world equates with winter and Christmas, and I think that's what is a turnoff for us because like kind of the Middle Eastern Mediterranean spices, they're the turmeric, even I think nutmeg, if I'm thinking correctly.
Turmeric is so good, though. I'm
tend
all
to get
about
used in curries, which for us it's like, oh, that's what we do at Christmas, and so yeah, I think that has something to do with it.
Well, for me, I don't know. There's just something about the taste of it that I just kind of like puts me a little bit off. Anyways, so I made the roux, and then I made the broth, added the shiitake mushrooms, which are delicious, by the way. I love shiitake mushrooms.
Absolutely delicious.
And then I had
mushrooms.
to roast the duck. So the duck was finished thawing by this time. So I pulled the duck out, and you can go to the duck now.
You got it. The duck out.
Yeah. And this is the duck. Look at it. It's glorious. Quick food for thought, or quid pro quo, I guess. So the slats there on the duck breasts, that's intentional. So you got to put little slats because duck fat is like this magical substance. And yeah, so if you put those little slits in the duck breasts, it absorbs the duck fat a lot better, and it doesn't really like dry out, so it releases the fat from the breasts and it puts it into the rest of the bird. So it turned out really good. The duck was delicious. It was so good. And so the final showcase is the soup, and so I ate that, and it was delicious.
Your presentation is always so fancy.
Oh yes, I'm so
impressed with you.
I bought bowls just for this. I mean, I had the metal chopsticks because I have chopsticks.
Because of course you do.
I have chopsticks in every drawer of my life, every drawer. Anyways, so yes, I bought these bowls because they were on sale at Home Sense, and they're ramen bowls. Because I'm like, I can't have udon without a proper bowl. Like, this is just not going to work. And my sister, I was house sitting, so not only was it a challenge to cook the food, but I had the challenge of being in an entirely different kitchen. So I had to like go through their spice cupboard and find all the spices that I need and figure out which ones they didn't have. So then I had to go buy them, and then like go through all of their utensils to make sure that I have like a meat thermometer and like stuff to drain the fat off with. And it was just this big thing. Anyways, it was delicious. The meat was probably my favorite part. So I wonder what it would be like with just the duck breasts. I don't know. I think that roasting the duck was probably made it taste a little bit better. Yeah, it was really good. And the udon noodles are super easy to cook. You just boil them for 5 minutes or whatever. So that's it. The next thing in the Fallout cookbook we have to pick for.
I feel like you need to pick a meat-centric recipe.
Well, it's going to be random. I'll try and pick in the middle because that's kind of where the meat is. Oh my god, it's spiced crab Mirelurk meat. Spiced Mirelurk meat, you guys.
Okay.
Here's the photo.
Am I gonna is it Alaskan crab, or am I gonna have to send you some blue crabs from Maryland?
It's snow crab.
Snow crab. Okay, so
We have a lot of
Alaskan.
that here, so
Crabs?
yeah. I got crabs. Okay,
On
so
your
the
meat?
difficulty is medium, and my experience this far in the cookbook is when it says it's easy, it's actually medium, and when it's medium, it's hard. So this will be fun. Oh, the next one is braised pork belly. Look at this.
Mm. What are
Stop
they
it.
calling that?
I love pork belly, by the way.
Mm.
Anyways, okay, so tune in 2 weeks' time. I will have a full report on the spiced Mirelurk meat. I also have some other treats for you guys.
Meat treats?
I ordered stuff from Bethesda because, okay, so I'm defending my thesis in like less than 3 weeks. And that means if I actually pass, I graduate. So I ordered a new bobblehead, and I'm gonna unbox it. It's the Intelligence bobblehead.
Ooh.
Nice.
So naturally, and I'm gonna bring it to my graduation because that's what you do. Oh, look at him, he's so cute.
Aww. He's adorable.
Oh, look at him, he's just like, I should try and like screw him onto my cap, and then I'll just like walk around.
That would be so good.
So there's that.
Where you need to take him is to your thesis defense, so you can have the +1 intelligence buff.
That's a brilliant idea.
That's true.
Yes.
Just gonna pull a Shalene there. Okay, the next one is this. Okay, I was waiting months for this. This is the Vault-Tec University statue. It is, they are limited. There's only 500 of them made.
Wow, cool.
So I snatched this up for $40, which was actually $400 because Canadian inflation and Bethesda shipping, you know, really kind of puts the damper on things. So here it is.
Oh my.
Rather weighty. Oh, it's nice.
Oh.
It says post tenebra lux, which means light after dark in Latin.
Nice.
And it's number 315 out of 500.
Nice.
That is so great.
I will put him on my desk next to all of my books that make me feel smart that I don't read. Because they're too smart for me.
Man, you guys and all your Fallout stuff, and I'm just over here in a sea of just audio equipment that has
As
nothing
you
to
sit
do with
in
Fallout.
front of a Vault-Tec flag.
That was given to me by Shalene.
It's like I would
I
send
didn't give you that.
It was in the box.
No,
Like, it was in the
was
loot
it?
box. Yes, it was
in the
loot
crate. The crate.
which I did
Hmm.
not buy for myself.
I mean, I would send you Fallout stuff, but then I'd have to order it from Bethesda,
No,
get it
no,
to
don't.
Canada, and then ship it to you.
I still need to send you guys your Bethesda friendship bracelets so that we can all wear them on that Fallout show.
Like I have a problem.
Moxie8 in the chat says, I might try to do that recipe with you too, vendor. Try the recipes since I have the book too. And I have to say, I love that I've been tweeting these out, and Victoria, the author, Victoria Rosenthal, we're on a first name basis, I guess now, has been commenting and liking all of the tweets. You guys should check out her Twitter if you haven't yet. She does, that's her thing. She's a chef, and she makes the recipes for all of the food items in every game you can imagine. And this week, I think that she was doing something from Assassin's Creed or something like that. Super cool. So, yeah.
That's great.
So that's that. I also wanted to talk a little bit about a kind of Fallout-esque game that's coming, or is already out, I believe. It's called 60 Seconds. Have you heard of it?
The
I
Nicolas
have,
Cage
actually.
movie?
No. Well, okay, so this game is it's like a strategy survival game, and it's basically like you scavenge for things and collect supplies to try and rescue your family before the bomb drops, and you have to go down into your fallout shelter, and then you have to try and survive in your fallout shelter with your family, and ration food and hunt for mutant cockroaches and try and survive. And basically that's the game, and I would love to play it. I've requested a code for it, but I haven't received anything yet. But Shalene, you said you heard of it?
Yes, I have heard of it. In fact, I did receive a review code. I have played it. Yeah.
You.
Yes.
She's
it's
the.
called-
I'm so angry. You're the one that took
I
the
know.
code.
She's
Okay.
always been the one.
Okay, tell me. Tell me
I'm
all the
sorry,
things.
you guys. I'm sorry. It's called 60 Seconds Reatomized. It's like a remaster of the original 60 Seconds, which has been out for a couple of years now. The remaster released yesterday, I believe. Or it may have been Tuesday, in fact.
Yep.
Probably Tuesday. Games usually come out on Tuesday.
So what did you think?
So I loved it. It was really fun. 60 Seconds is an adventure game. It's got a very Fallout-y tone with this cartoony and cute aesthetic. But it's paired with this dark humor, just like the same thing that draws us to Fallout, you know. And they've plainly been inspired by the Fallout series in many ways. The game has, I believe, 4 different game modes that you can play through. And you basically, as you described, Vendor, you gather up stuff like cans of soup and bottles of water. You can also pick up books and a rifle and bandages and all kinds of different items. And you drop those down into the bunker. The movement is a little bit clunky during that gathering things up part. And it's very zany. You're a bit of a bull in a china shop, just rushing around your house. And if you happen to walk into a chair, instead of stopping or knocking the chair sideways, you just explode the chair. You know, the chair just blows up right before you.
Yeah.
And you have to also gather up your family members. They cannot get to the bunker on their own. So you have like a son, right? And the son takes up 2 slots in your inventory. You have 4 slots available. The daughter is a little chunky and she takes up 3 slots. So you have to pick up your son and your daughter and your wife and drop them all into the Fallout shelter hatch. And with whatever supplies you can get in the 60 seconds, and you have to be close to the door by the time the bomb drops, and get in there. And you survive in the bunker and see how long you can live. And eventually you have to send someone out for supplies because your things only last so long. So you can pick any of the family members to go out. One of the adults has to survive to keep the game going.
Oh.
And when you send someone out, different things can happen. So in one instance, the mother found, I sent her out, and she found a group of people that were living in a subway. And she traded with them for ammunition. They liked her clothes, and she decided she didn't need her undergarments. So she traded them for ammunition.
Huh.
And brought that back to the shelter. And you have to manage food. You have to ration the food. And the different characters get sick depending on whether or not they've eaten. And all kinds of crazy things can happen. People knock on the door of your bunker. You have to decide if you want to open your door or not.
Oh,
There are
this is
consequences for
great.
every choice that you make. You know, there's depending on what you bring into your bunker and what you choose to do with it, that could affect what happens later on in your storyline. It's really fun. And I really think that I think Fallout fans will enjoy this little adventure game. I especially think fans of Fallout Shelter will like this game.
Yeah.
The people who, like me, were not just managing their vault and doing the time management, but also making up a little story and having these characters and getting attached to the characters as they survived.
Yeah.
I feel like the people who were doing that are going to really love 60 Seconds Reatomize.
The trailer's pretty awesome.
I recommend it. It's very cute.
Yeah. So did you die then, or like what was the outcome?
I survived. I've only played one run through, and I did survive the vault, and the army saved me.
How long is a run through typically?
Mine was about 15 minutes. I think it was a short run through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. So I'm just looking at some of the photos, some of the screenshots for this game, and in one of them, the mom looks like generally good, healthy, a little bit annoyed. And then in another one, she's like green and she has like green stuff coming out of her nose and her eyes are red. Do they turn into zombies?
She must have gotten irradiated or something. That didn't happen to me. I did have one instance that I had sent the father out to forage for supplies. And when he came back, he was like all cut up and
Oh no.
blood, and I had to
They
use
didn't want my
bandages.
undergarments.
They did not. I had to use bandages on the dad, and then for a couple of days he was all wrapped in bandages.
Oh.
Hmm.
Huh.
That sounds like fun, actually. I think I might give that one a shot.
Yeah, it does look like fun. I definitely want to play it. I think I'm going to send another request for codes.
It's very lighthearted take
I
on the
haven't checked
apocalypse.
to see
And
if I got one.
if you're tired of the intensive, serious apocalypse games, this is a good option.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Did
So
you-
what else have you been playing?
Oh, I did also play some Fallout 76. I'm sorry, I totally forgot. I picked up my Xbox character. What platform is it for? It's on PC.
Yeah.
60 Seconds is on PC.
Hmm.
I think you could probably run this even on a potato of a computer, though. So
Yeah. It's
uh,
kind of like Valiant Hearts, I think, a little
yeah,
bit.
you
Same
don't
kinda
need a
engine.
beastly rig to run this game. But I did pick up my Xbox character in Fallout 76, and I opened up the Atom Shop like you do. You log on after the first time in a while. I go in the Atom Shop. I'm like, I don't even know why I'm in here. I don't need anything. I don't want to spend any money. But then I saw the Carmen Miranda fruit hat, you guys. And of course, you know I had to have that. So my Xbox character is rocking that Carmen Miranda fruit hat. It's glorious. I don't know who created this, but if you're listening out there, just thank you. Thank you for creating this fruit hat. It's glorious. It's amazing. I love it. I feel like you made it just for me. And I want to say I feel seen.
It reminds me of like
Miranda hat.
Gloria Estefan, kind of like, go away. Don't you just go away. Go away. Dun, 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 dun. We should all wear fruit hats one day on the show.
I would love that. I would wear a fruit hat. So I put on my fruit hat and loaded into my game and found that it was bugged all to heck. You know, I had a lot of problems. But the best problem that I had, I spawned in near Pumpkin House, right? So
Okay.
the daily quest at Pumpkin House starts to gather up pumpkins for Jack the pumpkin,
Right.
the robot at Pumpkin House. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that since I'm here anyway.
Mr. Gutsy, right?
Yep.
Or
He
Gus-
is, yeah, he's Mr. Handy. And so I gathered, he's orange, he's wearing a little witch hat. He's adorable, very precious. Love him so much. So I gathered up some pumpkins for this guy. I brought him back. And when I brought them back, Jack-o'-lantern, the Halloween-themed Mr. Handy, was no longer Jack-o'-lantern. He had had a personality transplant with the robot who is the Tadpole Scout leader. And he gave
Wow.
me, instead of accepting the pumpkins I had gathered up, he gave me the introduction to the Tadpole quest.
So you weren't able to finish the challenge.
I was not able to finish the quest, and I started the Tadpole quest. My Xbox character hasn't been anywhere near Dolly Sots. And I started the Tadpole quests, so, and he
That's
was
hilarious.
talking in the voice and everything, you know, that, hello there, camper.
He's like borderline split
Even
personality.
hacked.
Yeah.
Yes, it was crazy. So Jack-o'-lantern had a bit of a personality disconnect. He had an identity crisis, and gave me the Tadpole quests.
That is wonderful.
After that, I wandered up and did the Free States quest, the
Okay.
Abbey and the Free States bunker. So I found that this story works. The main story for Fallout 76, it works. No matter what order you tackle these quests in. I've found that out because Rick was much farther along when I was playing the story with him than I was. So
Yeah.
I played high level content with Jim Justice, my PC character, before I had ever played any of the lower level stuff.
Right.
But I do find that going through it slowly by myself, it really is a more impactful storyline when you do follow the prescribed path and move from responders to up the chain the way
Yeah.
that they intend you to. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed doing those free states quests and just soaking in all that lore. I love it. But yeah, it was a very buggy experience, and that's my gameplay for the week.
That's hilarious.
Nice.
Uh,
Well, we're going to go ahead and get into our recap of the last challenge we put out. I do not remember what it was. Do you guys remember?
I wasn't
Yeah.
here.
it was summer.
It was summer.
Soak up summer. So
Was
it
it?
was send us a summer screenshot of your character enjoying the wasteland.
Summertime in the Wasteland.
Like,
Okay.
I'm gonna soak up the
Yes,
sun.
because I sang
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
You
during-
did?
As a bit, yeah.
You
And
did,
Vendor
yeah.
was shocked.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I was like, Cheryl Crow. You know Cheryl Crow.
Yeah, it's Pennsylvania, man. Pennsylvania. Anyway, let's get into the challenge. Into the, yeah. All right. First up, we've got Ben Yannick. And he said, we found a strip club called the Cross-Eyed Titty Bar in the Wasteland.
Okay. So this may not be
What?
summer related, but it was so good that I had to include it. I had
Oh,
to include it, you guys. I had to include it.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. So he's on the stage
Is-
in his
is-
underwear, and then his companion is holding out a bag of money.
And
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And he has the photo frame Mistress of Mystery.
Is this a player created
yeah. looks like it.
location?
I don't know. I think maybe he was, yeah. So anyways, he said TFS challenge. And I was like, yeah, we'll just throw it in.
Sure. This is
Wow.
great. Oh, man.
That is amazing. The bag of money really sells it.
And then he follows it up with he took a swim at scout camp with Dread Pirate for the actual challenge.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Which is actually really funny because her entry is also in here. You'll see that in a moment.
So we'll take a look at that then. Unlooted Vault submits his. He says, my wife didn't make it to the vault. No. But 25 years later, we're still enjoying our summer fishing trips by the beach. Oh, this
Oh
is
my
so
goodness.
dark. So it's him sitting on a rock next to a dead female skeleton. Oh, this is
my
so
Wow,
dark.
just fishing.
Oh, no.
That is
Wow.
just so good. That is so good.
Oh. There's so much backstory. I want to know.
That is like true love. I love that he has the Nuka-Cola backpack.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad.
Oh my
Also, the photo is great. He went in and he changed the filters, so the background is kind of like blurred, and
Yeah.
it really kind of focuses in on him and his wife, I guess you could say.
Moxie points out that the skeleton has a cigar in its mouth.
I like he also kind of did a little bit of a reference #weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
like to think that
It's very nice.
I like to think that cigar smoking was their little thing. So every day he walks in and he sticks a lit cigar in the mouth of the skeleton. Here's
Wow.
one for you,
Awesome.
honey.
Yeah.
All right. Jeffrey Carter on Twitter submits it. Just another day on the irradiated shore, and they're chilling next to the. I guess it's kind of like an empty lake bed almost.
It's pretty much an empty lake.
I love it. I love it. That dock just opens out onto an empty desert.
Yeah, I really like the outfit. It's got
Yeah.
like
it's
a
fabulous.
red crop top and some green leggings.
That would look darn spiffy with a fruit hat.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely.
Co-op and crime submits. A better way to
I
spend
was
summer than
hoping.
relaxing in the hot tub with friends, and it's just them in a hot tub with sunglasses on and a bunch of dead people. with beer bottles.
I was so hoping somebody was gonna post the hot tub. I think Shalene, you had remarked, or Rick, you had remarked on that when we were thinking about this challenge.
So good.
Yeah.
Co-op and crime. Well
I
done.
like the humor of our listeners, just to like very
A cop
dark.
and crime Moxie in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
huh. Look at that. And then here's Gene, the Dread Pirate Gene, hanging out with Ben Yannick in the pond. It looks like they be skinny dipping.
The best part of this is that they both submitted challenge photos, and they're more or less the same photo,
Haha.
just a
So
different
good.
angle. It's good.
Nice. Ah, nice. All right. And that is that for the challenge. Thank you guys so much for submitting your pictures. And that's not the last one we are going to have. No. Meat Week next week. Not next week. Is this going to work? This probably isn't going to work now.
2 weeks.
We've got 2 weeks.
We've
In
got
2
2
weeks.
weeks. All right. So, Meat Week. Best selfie with Graham and Chally.
Chally the Moo Moo.
Chally the Moo Moo. So submit that, and you can submit that where, Shalene?
On Twitter, you can use the hashtag TFS Challenge, and tag us, that Fallout Show, with your Meat Week Graham and Chally photos.
Nice.
Yep. No puns or anything there, just Graham and Chally. Brahmin. So, all right. In honor of our lore, I'm trying so hard to just be...
There's
Don't
just
earn the
like
explicit tag.
so much meat in this show.
It's just...
It is a very meaty episode.
Yeah.
I got... the lore this week is all about strange meat. And, okay, so... All right, strange meat is a consumable found in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. It's a kebab-style serving of chunks of weird, strange meat. Confirmed to be human meat, but looks a bit like iguana bits. So they're just human bits.
There's a story behind that, actually, from Fallout 2.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I believe it's Bob's Iguana Bits. There's an Iguana Bits stand where you find that there's a reason you haven't seen any iguanas in the wasteland.
Because there's no iguanas?
There are no iguanas.
And it's just... So is this to be assumed that all iguana bits are actually human bits?
I think so, yeah. That's
No.
in Fallout 2, that is the story. I don't know if it's canon that all iguana bits are human bits, or if only like Bob's iguana bits are human bits.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Wow.
a
Bob's human bits.
Move on.
So
Good
it
news.
has some benefits. Will regen hit points at the cost of radiation. So there's that. All right, some locations in, I guess, is this just Fallout 3? Yeah, this is Fallout 3. Locations. Andale is the largest source by far with 10 pieces in each refrigerator, which 80 pieces in total. The Smith's house, there's one in the refrigerator in the kitchen and 3 in the basement. In the Wilson's house, there's one in the refrigerator. And in the garden shed, there are 3 refrigerators. And if you don't remember, folks, Andale was where the people of the community were kidnapping humans and smacking and whacking and chopping that meat for sustenance.
Oh, can that be like the outro song for this?
We would probably get in trouble if it was. Yeah, there's that. Andale, yeah, and apparently, Shalene, you said if you don't kill everyone in Andale, like I didn't do,
Mm-hmm.
you can like continuously go back for strange meat.
Yes, if you don't solve the mystery,
Like
if you
Vegas?
never get down into that basement, they will continue to give you a strange meat pie once a day. So
Nice.
yeah, if you're a cannibal, it works as well.
So it's yeah. You can find it in the Chrysalis Building lower offices, the county sewer main line, which is where I get all my food from, the sewer main line. Random hunters, which is strange. Maybe it's just like if they don't find enough radstags or Brahmin, they're just like, oh, person.
They're hunting the most dangerous game.
O-Dog in the pit and the Trapper Shack basement in Point Lookout. There's some related quests to this as well. One is called the Fungus Deal. And what you do is you have to collect strange meat for Eclair. Little Lamplights cook by explaining that there's a fungus that grows in the cavern pools, which thrives on meat, especially strange meat, first discovered by the children of Little Lamplight when they threw the bodies of the dead adults into the cavern pools.
Huh.
Nice.
Fallout is so dark.
I love it, though. It's so whimsically dark. It's almost like you could forgive its darkness.
Yeah.
Like Robert Smith. Note. There's a strange meat pie in Andale, which you can go to every day and get a pie. I didn't write these notes. But anyway, so having the cannibal effect won't have any impact on strange meat?
No.
Well, does that mean it's not human meat, or is it just too processed?
It is human meat. It's just it doesn't change how much benefit it gives you.
Okay. In New Vegas, you can find strange meat in Andy Scabb's room in the Gray inside North Vegas Square. You can also find it in the fridge in the Gunrunners building and in the Helios 1 Solar Collection Tower fridge. The basement of the Ultralux, no surprise there, and in the fridge at Mick and Ralph's and some other miscellaneous places that you can find it. A character named Old Ben in Freeside describes that strange meat causes debilitating shakes in normal, non-cannibal humans. He states that this is a warning sign that someone has eaten human flesh. I like that they kept that trope in the game, because that's kind of a common theme through. Or does that happen in real life, Mr. Vendor?
Just keep reading.
Just keep going.
Okay.
Just keep going.
This is a common bit of lore surrounding the cannibalism is based in fact. I'm trying to have discussions. We don't have to read these things verbatim.
Well, I wrote it to be read verbatim, so.
All right, fine then. A real-life disease called Kuru is caused by the transmission of abnormally folded proteins called prions. This disease can cause tremors, loss of coordination, and neurodegeneration. It was found in Papua New Guinea, where ritual funerary cannibalism is common.
Or was common. I believe that should have been was common.
Was common.
To all of our listeners in Papua New Guinea.
Well, this is America. We know everywhere outside of there is the wild, crazy, uncivilized world. Don't we now? The most significant appearance of strange meat in Fallout New Vegas is, of course, the Ultralux, featuring the White Glove Society. They are, in fact, cannibals. Spoiler alert. Imitation strange meat pie, a.k.a. sweet veal. Ugh. I've had veal, and it's just disgusting, and this just gives me like a bad taste in my mouth. Is a dish invented by the Gourmands head chef Philippe as a substitute for human flesh. You can craft, purchase, or steal this dish. I would do neither of those things, because veal sucks, in my opinion. I don't know.
Well, do you think it might be better if it was a little more tender?
What do you mean?
I'm trying to do a thing here. Like, maybe you could tenderize the meat first before...
Oh, yes, yes. You can certainly use that tenderizer to beat your meat with. The tenderizer is a unique sledgehammer found in Fallout 3. I couldn't help it.
Too far. Too far, Rick. Too far.
Well, she alluded to it. How else do you tenderize the meat?
With the tenderizer.
What do you do with it then?
You tenderize it.
Right. It's the process. You swing it.
The tenderizer is a unique sledgehammer found in Fallout 3. This weapon was originally used for tenderizing Mirelurks, as it was found in a Mirelurk butchery. You can find the tenderizer in the Anchorage Memorial, one of the most Mirelurk-heavy areas in the entire map. And the tenderizer can be used about 500 times before it breaks, which is pretty darn good. It has a base damage of 30, DPS of 42.9, and weighs 12 pounds. Based on some cut content, this weapon was meant to have an effect that removed 5 damage resistance from the target on each hit.
I like
Not activated in the game, but it does exist in the game's code and can be enabled via mods.
That sucks. That's very, like, on the nose with that name.
It is. I love it.
And I'd say to, like, the 500 times before it breaks, too, is just, you'd have to have a lot of stamina to swing it that many times.
Hacking, whacking, and smacking.
Mm-hmm. Chopping that.
Meat.
Emails.
Gosh, you're such a child.
What? No, we all are. We're all children. All of us.
Uh-huh.
So emails. Who wants to take the email? You want me to take it? No one.
I can take it.
No.
I can take it.
Just assign someone, please.
Okay, so this
Vendor.
email comes from our lovely Ludabega. And they say, "Hello, sir, Madam Robit, and Joseph Tao,"
I love
spelled
the future.
T-A-O, by the way, like the T. But anyways,
Wait a minute. So is he the unofficial
Joseph
host then?
Tao?
Yeah, I mean he's getting a shout out.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he does compile a lot of the news, but yeah, so.
He's a major contributor.
Also, if you're listening to this afterwards, we love you. Enjoy this next little bit. So, I realize how essential Joseph is to the show, and I appreciate the on the fly knowledge bombs he drops so seamlessly. What are his words per minute, anyways? Because that guy can Google fast. Or he's a trivia news god.
I think it's a little of both, actually.
I think it's more so on the latter, but definitely both.
Both.
Either way, I feel like the unsung hero deserves continued high praise and probably a candy bar.
A few.
I recently joined the community via Facebook, Twitter, and Discord after finding TFS sometime after the E3 announcement of Fallout 76. I've been a huge Fallout fan since Fallout 2, having played every title except Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. My personal top 2 achievements within the series are a sub 10-hour play through of Fallout 2 done in one day, and defeating Fallout Tactics in real time on hard mode. That being said, I haven't played those titles in years, and it might be impossible to go back to the slow turn-based combat systems. After Tactics, however, Fallout mostly disappeared. I'd scour the internet from my 56K modem looking for snippets of anything Fallout related, anything hinting at a sequel. An old go-to website was, and is still is apparently, No Mutants Allowed. Then it happened. Bethesda bought the franchise. Someone bought the franchise! Why would they buy something they didn't intend to use? They were totally going to keep developing a new Fallout game. Fallout 3 dropped and life was over. Glorious Fallout has returned. So, I'm also an old multiplayer FPS gamer, coming from games as old as the original Duke Nukem and Shadow Warrior, the modern rework of the latter having been mentioned in your show and described as seeming like a bad game. Truly, it even was. But we didn't care. It was fun to romp around dropping caltrops and ambushing your friends, all who were here in the same room as you, because back then I'd have to haul my Intel 700 megahertz or whatever it was around to LAN parties. So different than now. Eventually, I found Counter-Strike, not CSGO. Original Counter-Strike just after beta, an actual beta. This was like 1997 or 1999, whatever the year it was. I forget because I'm old now. Counter-Strike became my main, and all other FPS experience faded into the backdrop. 5v5 tactical shooter, yes please. It set my standard for the first-person perspective games, and specifically shooters. Fast forward to Fallout 3 and getting through the initial excitement of a new Fallout game having been released, which took a long while because it was pretty freaking exciting. But eventually time happened, and after a handful of playthroughs, just like everyone else, I was able to really determine my feeling about the game. It honestly was great. With gripes, clunky FPS, stiff character animations, tons of bugs, I never liked Oblivion or cared for Bethesda specifically. God Howard? Oh God, no.
Blasphemy.
I could never honestly utter those words. Moving through New Vegas, Fallout 4, and now Fallout 76, multiplayer Fallout, what? To say the least, we've seen a lot of change. Good and bad, right? The RPG elements of the game have become much more basic, giving way to a better FPS experience and wide open worlds. Graphically, it's become quite beautiful, and the music is amazing and compelling. The systems of choice and consequence have been greatly simplified and mostly feeling removed. I would argue on that. Throughout the years, all added up, I'd say that I'm a happy fan, content with what's going on with my favorite franchise. Well, up until recently anyways. It's just that Bethesda has gotten big, and Fallout has gotten big, and big isn't always best. Tell that to Texas, am I right? With the build up of Fallout 4 and then the release of Fallout 76, things changed. Marketing and merchandising has gone bonkers. At one point, I looked around the Bethesda store to see how many items some of their other games had for listings, 4, 7, maybe 10 items. Fallout's page was 10 on sale at any given time and double that sold out, making VATS commercials with Philadelphia 76ers. I definitely ordered the Fallout 76 hoodie for my dog, as you would, and a couple t-shirts. I also received a copy of the cookbook for my birthday. I like the swag. The intention of the company is what worries me. Where will they sacrifice for the sake of profits? What will they cut for the sake of a greater consumer base? It feels like they'll do anything. It's not that I'm unhappy with Fallout 76. I've played over 250 hours on 3 different characters and have really enjoyed playing with friends and family. Multiplayer Fallout has been on my Christmas list for years, and it's finally here. I'm just skeptical of Bethesda as a company. That's my Fallout rant. Thank you for giving us a place to voice our stories. I think it's wonderful that you take time to appreciate the community you've built by giving back in these important ways. And that you're mostly G-rated show, mostly a G-rated show. I'm able to listen to episodes with my kids, and it's gotten to the point where they're singing along with the intro and exit music, as well as recognizing each of the voices individually. Well, I have to say, if he's listening to this email right now, it's too late. You might want to skip over this episode.
No, I mean,
shout out to Ludavegas kids.
I mean, just depending, he'll have to have the talk.
Yeah, we'll just
Those
have to
little tater tots.
mute some things. Yes. Hello, Ludabega family and little Ludabegas. We love you. Welcome to the show. For instance, he's
Little Ludabegas.
little Ludabegas. Yeah.
All I can think of for some reason is Mambo number 5 with Ludabega. I don't know.
You got Monica and Angela. And
Well, what was the guy's
Janet,
name?
Rita.
What was the?
It was like Lou Vega.
Yeah.
Vega,
Vega.
not Ludabega.
Lou Vega.
What if this was him?
Okay, one final comment. He says, for instance, we just got through the episode when Robot was a guest host.
And this is a very old email, by the way. Just to
Yeah. And my son asked me, who is that? As if something was out of place. Needless to say, they enjoy your show. So thanks again, Ludabega and little Ludabegas.
When Robot was a guest host?
Yeah, remember Robot?
Fallout Lorecast.
Oh,
Fallout
geez,
Lorecast.
yes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was great. Okay, so
Great.
I have some thoughts on this. I would say that he had a comment about
The choice.
Yeah. Where was that? Oof. Yeah, the quests being simplified and the choices simplified. I would say that that's probably not really true. In my perspective, I get overwhelmed with all of the things that have to be done in the game. There's just so much.
I agree with him.
The Boy Scouts, the Scout quests.
But it's very linear, very fetch questy.
Yeah, he's
It's
talking
not
about,
choice and consequence. It's not RPG.
yeah, he's talking
True.
about the how they had the morality system and now they don't. Like the choices you make affect the gameplay. And yeah, they've pretty much gotten rid of that. Even Fallout 4, in my opinion, has gotten rid of it.
I agree. But you know what? It looks like Wastelanders is going to bring that back. And this email was sent before the announcement of Wastelanders. So I think that is some content that is going to be right up Mr. Ludabega's alley.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I have to agree with everything that he says about Bethesda. And I've been preaching this on the show for the past 2 years, basically, that Bethesda is a big corporation now. And rightly so. I mean, they have a lot of employees, they have a lot of families to support, and they need to be able to make money. And, you know, they can't turn out a game every week, so they have to sell product and merchandise in other ways other than games. And that's cool because I get things like this, you know? I like that. I'm excited. You know, $5 for this, $55 shipping. So, you know,
$55 shipping?
yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yikes.
The only reason I ordered it is because of the statue was $40. So, you know, and I really wanted the statue. But to go back to what he was talking about, I do think that they've become such a big company that it's, I don't know if it's like becoming out of control, but I will say that they still are community based, community centered for the most part.
And let's not forget they've got different divisions working on this stuff. So like the development team is also not working on product development. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the people making the bobbleheads for the store are not the people making the bobbleheads in the game. So, it's. But I understand the skepticism. It's always tough when you, especially with an OG Fallout guy like, Ludabega, or someone who was following the Elder Scrolls series since the very beginning. It's changed so much, and from someone playing Morrowind who loved Morrowind all the way to Skyrim, when they just tell you where to go with Morrowind. I can understand that skepticism, especially Bethesda's walking that tightrope of how do we keep old gamers happy and and introduce new gamers without it being an incredibly difficult learning curve.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, at the end of the day, the bottom line is that something's got to give, and we don't know when, what, or how that will be, but something will give. Either they'll,
And it is important to always remember that while game developers do love what they do, it's not just a passion project. They're making their living. This is a job. It is a job. They have to be successful. They have to earn money. And Bethesda is a company that needs to earn money. And a lot of these sacrifices that we've seen, like in Fallout 4 and in 76, in terms of the lack of choice and consequence, these are things that made the game more accessible to the wider audience.
Mhm.
And we, the hardcore fan, are no longer the target audience for these games. That's the way it is. They are targeting gamers as a whole now with this. They're targeting everyone. Fallout 4 sold like crazy. It sold so many copies. Fallout 4 was insanely successful. It was more successful than the previous games by miles and miles. And they're gonna want to continue that success.
Yeah.
If I earned a lot of money doing something, I would want to continue doing that thing that earned the money. So
they're trying to meet everyone's expectations without butchering the core gameplay. And yes, they do have to cut a few things, but at the end of the day, they're trying to serve up the best meal that they possibly can, and without making it too raw or too overly
Salty.
done.
any way you slice it, I really think that we love Fallout, and I miss some of those choice and consequence type things. I miss a lot of these role playing elements that were present in previous games. I hope they come back, but it's better than waiting for 15 years for the next Fallout.
Yeah, it's very
Well,
true.
I mean, yeah, they're keeping people enticed.
So
Having us salivating for new content.
Yeah, just keeping us cured,
we shouldn't get so salty about it either if something goes
No.
wrong.
Yeah.
So, all right, are there any announcements that we need to make? Are you guys doing a Day of Our Lives is Strange?
That probably will not resume until after mid-August.
Okay.
For me. Yep.
Okay.
It's countdown time. August 13th is my defense date. It's gonna get a little hairy here in the next couple weeks.
So since there's no Days of Our Life is Strange, Rick, are we doing some Dead Space?
We should. Early afternoon, I think, would work. Yeah, let's announce that tomorrow,
Okay.
if we are or not,
Stay tuned, everyone.
for Survival Horror Sunday possibilities. All right, you can tweet at the show if you have any input at all, how to make the show better mainly. At That Fallout Show on Twitter, you can tweet at the network at We Just Love Games. You can tweet at Moa, at Rick McVick.
Wow, you are an utter disappointment.
Zing. You can tweet at Shalene.
You guys are so full of baloney.
At Shalene L and Vendortron at VendortronIn. You can find us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/thatfalloutshow or /groups/thatfalloutshow, or the network at facebook.com/we just love games or group/We Just Love Games. You can email us at info@wejustlovegames.com, but please don't send us any spam. Like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/We Just Love Games. You can find our show on iTunes podcasts, as well as Stitcher Radio and iHeartRadio, or wherever podcasts are to be found at. If you don't see us there, let us know. We'll add it. And leave us a review on the Apple Podcast so we can shout it out at the beginning of the show, as we do all 5-star review shout outs. We record live every other Friday at 6:30 Mountain, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time here at twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. And please stay tuned next week for our other show, Game Stack, which airs same place, same time. We also do Twitch streams when we can, and we've been lacking on those a little bit, but we will be trying. Thank you so much for listening. And Shalene, do we have a last word?
We're here all week. Try the veal.